Welcome back to the deep dive.
Yeah.
Today we're looking at something fundamental, the difference between speaking English correctly
Yeah.
and speaking it naturally.
Right.
If you're one of those learners, who's nailed the grammar, got the vocab down, but still feel, I don't know, a bit stiff, like you're translating in your head,
Mm-hmm. That's a really common sticking point.
then this deep dive is definitely for you. Our mission today is to really unpack the core strategies to get you past that textbook sound.
Yeah, towards genuine fluency. And the key really is mastering English collocations.
Collocations, okay.
This is truly the core mechanism for sounding natural. If you feel like you're almost there, maybe 95% accurate, but still sound a bit robotic,
Yeah.
it's likely because you're thinking word by word.
Yeah.
We need to shift your brain, get it thinking in these natural word groups instead.
Okay, so let's pin that down. When we say collocation, what exactly are we talking about? Layperson's terms.
Simply put, it's just a pair or group of words that, usually show up together. They're like natural partners in the language.
They just sound right.
Exactly. They sound right together. The sources we looked at had some great examples. We say make a mistake, right? Never do a mistake.
Right.
Or we talk about heavy rain, not strong rain.
Right.
And everyone knows fast food. Nobody says quick food.
That's interesting because, if I said do a mistake, you'd understand me.
Right.
Perfectly fine. But there's that little,
Yeah, that little jolt.
something's just a bit off.
Exactly. That
Okay.
small friction, that's what makes you sound unnatural. The core idea here is that collocations make English flow. Native speakers, they don't really calculate individual words.
They think in phrases.
They think in these established word groups. So if you want that, effortless, native-like sound, you absolutely have to start learning and thinking in these chunks.
And that brings us to this paradox, which is kind of why we're doing this deep dive. The research suggests you could, theoretically know 10,000 separate English words
Mm-hmm.
and still sound really mechanical, still struggle to speak quickly.
Mm.
Why isn't just knowing lots of words enough?
It's because of that classic learner trap, studying words just by themselves, in isolation.
Okay.
So, you might know the noun decision, you know the verbs make and take, but if you haven't specifically learned the combination that works,
Like make a decision.
exactly, or take responsibility. If you haven't got that pairing down, your speech stays sort of disjointed, mechanical. You're basically building a wall brick by single brick.
When you could be using prefabricated sections.
Precisely. That's a great analogy, using sections of the wall that are already built.
So it's about smart learning.
Right.
Leverage, not just brute force memorization.
Exactly.
And the contrast seems pretty stark. Knowing 10,000 isolated words might still leave you sounding unnatural,
Yeah.
but knowing maybe just 1,000 key collocations, that actually delivers fluency.
It's the power of language chunking. Absolutely. So before we dive into the fixes and how-tos, let's just really cement why this is worth your time. What do these chunks actually unlock for you, the listener?
Well, the first thing, the most immediate benefit, has to be just more natural speech. You stop doing that thing where you pause, searching for the next word. Your sentences they flow better, smoother, less effort.
And that smoothness, that directly boosts your confidence instantly. You shift from just learning English to actually feeling fluent.
Okay, that's big.
And number two, your understanding, your comprehension of native speakers, it jumps way up.
How so?
Well, when someone says, let's grab a bite, or maybe, oh, it slipped my mind, you don't have to pause and translate word by word.
You just get it as a unit.
You process it instantly
Yeah.
as a single chunk of meaning.
Okay, that makes sense. And for people who write a lot, maybe for work or study.
Oh, the improvement there is immediate, too. Using the right collocations makes your emails, your reports, your essays, they just sound more polished, professional.
Right, less like that sort of identifiable learner English.
Exactly. And maybe most critically, you save time, a lot of time in the long run.
Oh, by learning chunks instead of single words.
Yeah, you're memorizing these really useful pre-combined word groups instead of just random vocabulary items that you'll then struggle to piece together correctly later on. It's just much more efficient.
Okay, got it. So let's move on from the what's and why and get into some specifics. Let's tackle some of those classic errors, because it seems like understanding the subtle logic behind these combinations is key.
Right.
Can we fix maybe 4 common mistakes right now? Give people some quick wins.
Let's do it. Let's start with one we already touched on, that common error of saying strong rain.
Oh.
You need to switch that to heavy rain. And the reason is really about how we use adjectives. Heavy tends to describe things like volume or density or impact.
Which fits rain intensity.
Exactly. That's how we naturally describe the intensity of rainfall. Strong, on the other hand, we usually reserve that for things like force or flavor, like strong coffee.
Or strong argument.
Right, or abstract ideas. So it's about the category of description.
That context really helps lock it in. Okay, but what about verbs? We know it's make a mistake, not do a mistake. But I do the dishes. I do my homework. That feels a bit inconsistent. Why is the verb pairing so specific there?
That's a brilliant question, and it really highlights why English can be, well, frustrating sometimes.
Right.
In this specific case, the sources generally point to do being used more for activities, tasks, or responsibilities, like do housework, do tasks, whereas make often relates to creating or producing something. That can be concrete things, but also abstract concepts like decisions, mistakes, or even noises. You create a mistake, you don't really treat it like a chore you do.
Okay. That deeper distinction helps. Right. Moving on. You're at a cafe. You shouldn't say, take a coffee. What's the right verb and why?
You should say, have a coffee. And this is actually a pretty simple rule you can apply more broadly.
Okay.
We generally use the verb have when we're talking about consuming food or drink, sometimes even experiences like have a great time or have a break.
So have for consumption. Got it. And the last classic one, this sounds like a direct translation issue, close the light.
Yes, that's a dead giveaway, a fluency bottleneck for sure.
So what should it be?
We have to use the electrical collocation, turn off the light.
Turn off.
That tiny switch from close to turn off, it's one of those little things that makes a huge difference in sounding natural. Instant polish.
So these examples show it's not just about random vocabulary. These rules, these patterns, they cover daily life, work, even emotions.
Absolutely. They're everywhere.
Maybe give us a quick feel for the breadth, like some examples across different categories.
Sure. So for just everyday life, social stuff, you absolutely need phrases like do the dishes, take a seat, and a really important one, break the ice.
Okay. Essential social skills.
Definitely. Then in a work or study context, you want to focus on verbs linked to results. Things like meet a deadline, gain experience, or set goals.
Right. Action-oriented.
Exactly. And then thinking more emotionally, relationships, we use very specific phrases like fall in love, keep a promise, or sadly sometimes lose trust.
So they really permeate all areas. And the goal setting you mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
it actually sounds doable. You said the sources suggest aiming for just 10 new ones a week.
Just 10 a week. That means, think about it, by the end of a year, you'll have naturally mastered over 500 of these super useful fluent combinations.
Wow. Okay, 10 a week suddenly feels very manageable. Right, so we know why we need them. We've seen what they look like. Let's get practical. How do we actually learn these things effectively? The sources outlined a 7-step system.
Yeah, a simple but really effective 7-step system designed to help you master hundreds of these without spending, hours and hours grinding away.
Okay, let's break it down. Step 1.
Step 1 is absolutely fundamental. Learn collocations in context, not from lists.
Why context?
Because context gives meaning, and meaning is what makes memory stick. Don't just memorize the phrase save time on its own.
See it used.
See it in action, underline it when you're reading an article, and use it in a full sentence yourself, like, I finished the report early to save time later in the week. Context is everything.
Okay, context first. Step 2.
Step 2 is physical. You've got to practice out loud.
Saying them.
Saying them. Your mouth needs the muscle memory just as much as your brain needs the information. Say the full sentences repeatedly. Let's leave early to save time. Or pay attention to what he's saying.
Right. Trains the tongue and the brain to treat it as one unit.
Exactly. Trains them together.
Makes sense. Step 3 sounds important. Create a collocation notebook.
Yes, this can be a secret weapon. But crucially, don't just list them randomly.
How should you organize it?
You must organize it by topic. Work, daily life, travel, study, whatever categories make sense for you.
Why topic?
Because that organization helps your brain categorize and retrieve the vocabulary based on the actual situation you're in. When you need work-related phrases, you open the work section and bam, meet a deadline, take a break. They're all right there together. Much faster retrieval.
Okay. Topical organization for faster recall. Step 4 is about listening.
Yes, but intentional listening. When you're watching movies, listening to podcasts, whatever, shift your focus slightly.
Don't just listen for the overall meaning.
Exactly. Start listening specifically for these patterns, these collocations. Actively notice things like, take care, run out of time, or fall asleep, you'll honestly start hearing them everywhere once you tune in.
Interesting. Okay, step 5. This helps make them stick.
Yeah, this helps solidify them into long-term memory, right? Using collocations.
Just copying them.
No, not just copying. Every day, try to write maybe 3 to 5 short original sentences using the new phrases you're learning.
So active use.
Yes. You're engaging the creative part of your brain, which really cements the connection. Simple sentences are fine. I caught a cold last week, or she made a decision to change jobs.
Okay, writing for reinforcement. Step 6 seems like the real-world test.
It is. Practice with a speaking partner, or even just in conversations you have anyway.
Actually use them.
Use them. Instead of saying something maybe a bit clunky like, I am trying to catch up on my work, challenge yourself. Try the more natural version. I'm trying to keep up with my tasks.
Push yourself, to use the better phrase.
Exactly. Real-world accountability.
And finally, step 7. This sounds crucial for the long haul.
It really is maybe the most important for making this last. Review for just 5 minutes daily.
Only 5 minutes.
Only 5 minutes. Consistency beats intensity every single time. A quick 5-minute daily review strengthens those memory pathways and builds your confidence way more effectively than, say, a massive 3-hour cram session once a month that just exhausts you.
Consistency over intensity. I like that. Okay, that's a solid 7-step plan. Now, let's add a couple of genius tips the sources mentioned. Things backed by science to make learning even faster, stickier.
Right. Tip 1 leverages a bit of neuroscience. Learn with emotion.
Emotion helps memory.
Definitely. Our memory gets a significant boost when we attach feelings to what we're learning. So if you're learning, say, break the ice,
Visualize it.
visualize yourself actually doing it. In a social situation, maybe smiling, feeling confident, successfully meeting new people. That positive emotional tag helps the phrase stick much better.
Interesting. Okay, tip 2 involves flashcards, but doing them differently.
Yes, fundamentally changing how you use them. The goal is to force your brain to think in English, not just translate back and forth.
So not English on one side, translation on the other.
No, stop putting, make a decision on the back. Instead, on the front, put a situation or a definition. Something like, when you finally choose something after deep thought.
The scenario.
Right. And then the back reveals the collocation. Make a decision. You're training your brain to leap directly from the situation to the natural English phrase, bypassing translation entirely.
Clever. Okay, so all these steps, these tips,
Hmm.
how does this fit into a daily routine? You mentioned it could be just 15 minutes.
Absolutely. It all fits into a very practical daily plan, just 15 minutes commitment.
15 minutes to mastery. Okay, break down that schedule for us. How would you structure those 15 minutes?
Okay, first 5 minutes, spend it reading or listening to native English. This is your collection phase. Spotting new collocations in the wild.
5 minutes. Collect. Then.
Next 5 minutes, take some of those phrases you found or ones you're working on and write your sentences. Focus on using them in context.
5 minutes. Practice writing. What's next?
Then dedicate just 3 minutes to speaking them out loud. Say your sentences. This is building that crucial muscle memory for fluency.
3 minutes. Speak aloud. Leaving 2 minutes.
The final 2 minutes. Quick review of older collocations from your notebook, just reinforcing that memory bank, keeping them fresh.
Collect, write, speak, review. 15 minutes total. That sounds incredibly achievable.
It really is. And remember the mindset that goes with it? Aim for progress, not perfection.
That's important. You won't learn them all overnight.
Exactly. But every single time you use a natural phrase correctly instead of translating awkwardly, that's a win. That's a victory against that old habit of word-for-word translation.
Right. Focus on the small wins.
That shift in focus is vital because mastering collocations, ultimately, it isn't just about having better vocabulary. It's really about connection, about rhythm.
Connection.
Yeah. When you stop translating in your head, you stop sounding like a student reciting lines. You start actually thinking directly in English.
And that makes you a more fluent, more confident communicator overall.
Absolutely. And that confidence, quite an important email, or just chatting with international friends.
It changes how you show up in the world.
Fluent English has that natural rhythm, that self-assured connection, and collocations. They are the framework, the secret key, really, that unlocks the language of real natural conversation. They make your speech sound authentic, not, mechanical.
Okay, so let's leave our listeners with a final challenge for today.
Let's do it.
Choose 10 collocations. Maybe ones you heard here, like take a seat or meet a deadline, or ones you find yourself today.
Okay, 10 phrases.
Right. 3 simple sentences for each one, just to get used to the context.
Mm-hmm.
Then say those sentences out loud. Train your mouth, train your ear.
Get the feel for them.
And here's the most important part. Commit. Commit to using at least one of those natural phrases in a real conversation sometime today.
Put it into practice immediately.
Exactly. Your truly fluent English is waiting for you. It's built one natural phrase at a time.